everyone. Thank you so much, Samuel and Esther. I love your energy, Esther. It's so amazing. Thank you for making this event happen. And I can't wait to start by sharing how to become an impactful leader. I've been working in this field since the past 10 years. And as a young leader, I feel that it's so important that we skill ourselves and learn every single day. So if I'm permitted, can I share my screen?
Of course, please go on, Anoushka.
Okay, perfect. So let's begin. Can everybody tell me if they can see my screen? Can I get a reaction, a thumbs up maybe? Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna start. So beginning with why do we need to focus on impactful leadership? Well, we are all youth, we are the future of tomorrow, and as leaders, we are going to inspire and motivate new changes to happen. And as an impactful one, we will help our teams achieve their goals. And in this presentation, we will explore what it takes to become one. So what are the traits of impactful leaders? There are so many, but I have toned it down to 4 key qualities. The first one is accountability. Leaders who take responsibility for their actions, create a culture of accountability, and encourage their team to do so. So it's a ripple effect. If you're being truthful and honest, you're also encouraging your team to do the same. Second, confidence, something that's so important. If you exude confidence, you make your team feel secure and trust their decisions. And then comes integrity. I cannot stress on this enough. Being honest and transparent is important for creating a culture of transparency and leading it back to accountability. And then finally, something that I abide by in everything I do, not just leadership, it's empathy. Understanding your teams, your colleagues' strengths and weaknesses, and being able to see things from their lenses and be able to put yourself in their shoes can help you become a more effective leader. Now that we've talked about the traits that we need, what are some of the most effective leadership styles? There are so many ways that we lead, but here are the top 4 ways that I've observed in my mentors, leaders, and people I've worked with. First one is transformational leadership, a leadership style that inspires and empowers others to achieve more than they thought possible. Your team members and you yourself have untapped potential, but if you allow for that change to happen, you can conquer new heights. Second, situational leadership, a leadership style that adapts to the needs of the situation and individual team members. Not everything is going to be rosy in your leadership journey. You will face highs and lows, but it's important to adapt to the situation and react quickly. And then servant leadership, a leadership philosophy where the leader prioritizes the need of their team over their own interests. I cannot emphasize this more because as a leader, people sometimes tend to think that since they're in power, they hold the supreme power to do everything and that others are not or below them. So you really need to change that mindset. As a leader, you're the key, you're the common thread who's going to take the ship to the shore. That is to your final end goal of the project. So it is where the leader prioritizes the needs of their team and not just their own. And finally, it's democratic leadership, a style in which the leader involves their team in decision-making, thus providing them ownership so they become equal partners and thus allowing for accountability for the team's work. Now we come to the part of emotional intelligence. A lot of times when we talk about leadership, we tend to forget that people working behind the screens or in those cubicles are humans. They have their own emotional, and their own psychosocial behaviors. And they're not just people, not just numbers. They're more than that. And we need to think about it from an emotional perspective as well. So what are the 3 key things that you should practice? First, self-awareness. Understanding your own emotions, your personal biases, and your weaknesses is key to becoming an effective leader. Second, social skills. Being able to communicate well, build powerful relationships, and nurture them over time is critical to successful people management. And finally, self-regulation. The ability to control one's own emotions and responses, especially under pressure, and you're going to face that often, let me tell you, is a valuable skill. Now that we're done with emotional skills, how do we build the strong relationships that we're talking about. First, team building. Create opportunities for your team members to connect outside of work to create a stronger team bond. As I said, these people are not just numbers or statistics working for your project or your company. These are real humans. So find opportunities. These can be icebreakers, these can be meeting at a restaurant. It doesn't have to be in person all the time, but take an effort, take initiative to make sure that we build that bond since we'll be working together on this project. Second, active listening. Being present and engaged when team members speak allows leaders to build stronger personal connections with them. Make them feel heard and seen, and that is how you're going to progress to becoming a more impactful leader. And finally, feedback and recognition. When you provide your team members with regular feedback, it allows for them to progress and grow. And keep this a two-way channel. It should not just be you giving them feedback, you should also be receiving feedback on how you're doing as a leader, as a team member. And then, very important, do not forget to provide recognition for the good work that your team is doing, as it fosters a sense of appreciation and motivation to continue to do better and foster growth. Now we come to encouraging creativity and innovation. This is something that I've not really heard people talking about or something that they want to foster when they're a leader. We often talk about how to become a good leader and how to, have those skills and abilities, but let's also talk about how to encourage idea sharing. When you have so many diverse minds on the table, make sure to host brainstorming sessions to foster creativity. Embrace the diverse opinions that your teams bring from, and encourage employees to share ideas. Provide time for innovation. You never know the project that you're working on, somebody already has a couple months of experience on that or years of experience, and let them take their time on personal passion projects. Your project can also serve as a catalyst to bringing growth and springing new projects. Encourage cross-functional and intergenerational collaboration. Everybody comes from different walks of life. Some or the other skills can always work together to bring out growth and incentivize innovative solutions. Your project or office or workspace can also serve as a launchpad for newer ideas. Now we come to maintaining a positive company, organizational, or whatever project you're working on. Maintaining this positive culture. Encourage work-life balance. Do not thrust or force employees or your team members or your coworkers into working overtime. It is not healthy. Not for you, not for them, and not for the project. Celebrate diversity. Celebrate the work and the diverse backgrounds that your employees come with, and welcome inclusive work environment for all. Transparent communication. As I say, when you're a leader, always have that open ear because that encourages transparency and fosters trust. Finally, support employees' professional development and continuing education. If that's something that doesn't fit in the budget, make sure that you allow employees to attend sessions like this, the ILC, which is completely free and is allowing you to grow and learn. And then we come into continuous learning and personal growth. What do we take away from this session today? How do we continue being a good leader? Always read more. I cannot stress on this enough. Reading is free for all. You can read books, go to libraries, read newspapers, stay informed about the current trends, what's happening in your relevant market, and emerging technologies. Attend conferences and workshops. As a person who loves to meet new people and talk to new people, I cannot stress on this enough. I have learned so much from people coming from different countries, different walks of lives, as it'll allow you to connect with other professionals. And that brings me to my final point is it allows you to network. When you're a person just bringing out yourself and your skills into a new field and you don't know anyone and you feel lost, use opportunities like these to network with people. I met Samuel on LinkedIn, and that is such a great professional platform to network and connect with new people who are doing amazing things in different fields. And also something that I stand by is mentor. If you are a leader who wants to give back to their community, their country, or even globally, if you have the time, I like to mentor people who are maybe 5 years behind in their high school, somebody who is standing where I was 10 years before. And I like to give out my time to help people understand what they can do better to become better leaders, better students, and professionals. So if you have the time, mentor others. And that's how you can continue to cultivate that continuous learning curve. And finally, stay connected with me. I will share all my socials in the comment and chat below. So if there's any questions that you have even after this session, I'd be happy to help you all. And now I'm at the end of my session. I thank Esther, I thank Samuel, and I thank ILC for giving me this opportunity. And also you, thank you for being so patient as I spoke. And as I said, I'm open to any questions that you have. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Miss Anoushka. Wow, that was a powerful session. Like, I couldn't even get enough of this. I was just jotting down the keynotes, like the essence of how it's necessary to connect to people. And that's just so wonderful and perfect. Thank you very much. Please, do we have questions? I know we have questions for Anoushka already. Let's indicate in the chat box. If you have questions, she's here to answer your questions. Are you finding any clarity? You are finding yourself in the purpose. You're finding the clarity to lead yourself with purpose through there was one part that actually hit me, like, grow. You need to learn more. If you want to be a leader, you have to just learn. You have to be open to learn. And that is why this conference was put in. I mean, the seminar, the workshop, this is how you can learn. Okay, she put in a LinkedIn profile. You can also find Anoushka here. You can find her here. So if you have any question, please drop them in the chat and she will be responding to you. Okay, what's one or two that you take your take home from Anoushka this evening? Please, can I see us in the comments? Let's write what we have taken. Have you gotten one or two? Like, there's a particular one that fired in your spirit, even as a young leader coming up. Please, can we drop them in the comment section? Can we drop them in the chat box? Can we drop them? Okay, Mr. Sam say, great session, Anisha. What inspired you to start helping others and making global impact? Also, what challenges have you faced so far in your leadership? Okay, so we would love to learn from this. We would love to learn from you. What are the challenges? Okay, first of all, what inspired you to start helping others? Like, what are the propellers for you? And also, what are some of the challenges that you have faced so far, even in your leadership as upcoming leaders? We would love to hear from you and learn this as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that question, Samuel. I think that those are two great questions. I will start off with what inspired me to start taking change. So I grew up in an extremely patriarchal community in India, and it was really not easy to get access to education as a girl. And when I started seeing the disparity and the inequalities that persisted in my community, I felt that even as a 10-year-old, I can take some action. If I know something from first grade or second grade, I can go on and teach that to younger kids. And so I started from the very corner of my room, but then that really gradually transitioned into me working with over 100 kids the first year, 2,000, 5,000 and 10,000 kids now, and then 50,000 and counting this year. I worked with local radios, I worked with nonprofits, I worked with international organizations such as the UN. And even though I've now worked with so many other organizations, there's always this question, oh, as a girl or as a young person, you're not competent enough. You don't have enough capabilities. So what I like to say to that is, even though we've continued to face challenges as leaders, as change makers, do not let anything, any kind of comment like this stop you from doing what you're doing. You hold the ultimate power in yourself to do and possess and make change in any way, shape, or form. And do not let anybody or anything stop you. So even though I did face a lot of challenges, both logistically and, progressing my nonprofit to become what it has today, finding funding options, pitching my ideas to people who didn't think it would make anything out of it. I think what really could led me to continue growing and keep going is the belief in myself. So as a leader, if you have belief in yourself, and if you have the confidence, and if you have the self-love, which I cannot reiterate enough, you can do anything. And I have another question. I think it's a great question. How did you find a mentor, and what would you say to those who are trying to look for a mentor? I always love mentoring people, but for me, I started off small. I started from teachers who were really supportive during school. And then when I started working on internships as a professional, I started to reach out to people in my workspace who I thought and I identified with their purpose and their career trajectory, and I saw that they're doing something that I see myself doing in the future. So it really doesn't have to be somebody who is at the top. You can start from somebody around you, maybe a professor, or maybe a person who's an engineer, a person who's a lawyer, somebody who you just identify with and you want to see yourself in their shoes maybe 10 years down the line, somebody who inspires you, somebody who you see is inspiring change in their communities. Just reach out to them. And I also have to say this, the worst you can hear is a no. Nothing worse than that. They're
Yeah.
not going to hurt you. They're not going to do anything to you. They're just going to say a no if they're not available. So just shoot your shot. Do not be hesitant, which is so important. Young people often feel, oh my God, I don't know what they're going to say next. I don't want to reach out. And at the end, they end up giving up and they don't reach out to anyone at all. If you feel like I can help you in any way, just reach out to me and I'd love to mentor you. So shoot your shot, be confident, and have utmost faith in yourself. And that's how you can do anything.
Okay, wow. Thank you so much, Anoushka. I think she answered those questions well. You just have to, go for it. You already seen yourself as a leader, like she said, like there is no offense to a no. Just go for it. And that will even make you to build more confidence in yourself, to go out for, that's which you have envisioned for yourself. Thank you so much. So we just have like 5 minutes more, but we just take more. If you have questions, you can drop your questions. I think we answered the first one. Okay, let me say this. Someone said there is no substitute for continuous learning. Yeah, thank you. There is no substitute for continuous. And someone said reading is free. This sounds new to my hearing. Thanks so much, Anoushka. Exactly. There is so much information everywhere. But then this is why this seminar is taken, so that you can have the right information that will help you to channel even well to your area of field and interest. Like she mentioned, look for people that are inspiring you, that you see yourself. They are doing so well and they are so ahead of you. Reach out to them. It won't cost it won't cost a dime to reach out to them. So we have another question. Do you have any strategies for balancing work-life responsibilities as a leader? Okay. This is for you, Anoushka. Do you have any strategies for balancing work-life? And you have so much you do. So do you have any strategies? We'd love to hear this and learn. Thank you.
I do. This is actually a great question. When you're in the workforce, sometimes your boss might be forcing you, somebody in your workspace is forcing you to do more or to, stay late and work after hours. Just always know to advocate for yourself first. Always have a voice, put forward how you feel. And it's okay. It's okay to say no. It's okay if you have a commitment at home and you really have to rush back home. It's okay to say no, advocate for yourself. And finally, to maintain that balance and equilibrium, find a hobby that de-stresses you, that helps you be in control and helps you maintain that balance. What I really do is I really enjoy cooking. I really enjoy going on hikes. So whenever I feel like I really need that balance back, I go on hikes. And I do this regularly because in order to maintain an equilibrium, you really need to do both the things at the same pace. You have to work, but you also have to find time for self-love and self-care. So 3 things: advocate for yourself, learn to say no, and find a hobby.
Okay, wow. Thank you so much. So when you find a hobby, when you find something you love doing, some they have a way they can just relax and get the energy back. So when you know yourself, you have to study yourself, discover yourself, what you love to do, you'll be able to navigate your way around this. Thank you so much, Anoushka. I don't know if you have more questions so that we can go to our next speaker. Anoushka has been so on fire. I know we're learning so much. Let's drop 1 or 2 that we can get from this session. Let's get 1 more 2. Someone said, thank you for your clear explanation. Well, I want to know, does it matter to switch leadership style because of service to the team from a transformative leader to a servant leader? What is the best practice leadership style to remain innovative for your team progress? Okay, I think this person is talking more about like being in a team. So he said, like, how does it matter? Does it matter to switch leadership style from service to the team from a transformative leader to a service leader? Then what is the best practice leadership style to remain innovative for your team progress? I don't know.
This is a great question. Yeah, I think I'll not take too much time because we need to listen to the next speaker as well. But I'd
Yes.
like to quickly say that these four are one of the many leadership styles that you can put in practice when you're leading as a team member or as somebody who is leading a project. But what I'd like to say is that you have to be resilient, you have to be malleable, you have to be adaptable to what your current situation is. It really depends on the project you're leading and the situation that you're in order to implement this leadership style. So think of it from your own perspective and your own lens on what you think would be the best way to lead forward. But as a leader, just always know that there are going to be hiccups and there are going to be bumps in the road, but you need to be resilient in order to make your project work.
Oh, thank you so much. The adaptability is the key factor for me that I picked from that. You have to be adaptable, right? Because you are a leader. So you have to be adaptable, even with, you have to have these adaptability skills, like she said, to be able to navigate your way around about, your team and people you're leading. Okay, thank you so much, Adams. Adams shared the links even to most of the key points, so you can get them from here. Thank you so much, Anoushka. Because of our time, we are going to introduce our next speaker. Thank you so much. Can we give a round of applause for Anoushka? Thank you for coming on board. Thank you for impacting our lives. And you can reach Anoushka, please, on our LinkedIn profile, or personally, you will reach out to her. Thank you for what you do. Please, let's appreciate her. Let's appreciate her. You are doing awesome and amazing. Well done. Kudos to you. You inspire us. And we hope also to, find our best place, in our place of leadership, that we are just going for it, the dreams. We are just going for it. Thank you for being an inspiration.